Hello, happy Autism Awareness Week. I wanted to tell you a story. I am a parent of an autistic child. I have a lot of experience working with autistic people of all ages, but particularly children, in my work. And I'm almost definitely on the spectrum myself. But I don't actually want to tell you about any of those things. I want to tell you a story called The Boy Who Grew Wings. And it's by no means the first time that this story has been told in different forms. And it is also by no means a perfect analogy for what it's like to have autism. But I wanted to add something positive and hopeful into the mix of everything that people are talking about this week. At first, it was easy to hide, even though it hurt. The bones forcing their way through my shoulder blades left burning incisions that kept me awake every night. I learned to cry quietly, praying repeatedly that I would wake up and find that the pain was gone. The doctors finally made the decision. My parents cried when they heard. My back wasn't going to get better. The pain was going to get worse. It was time to accept it. My family tried to pretend that nothing had changed, but there was a distance in their eyes when they looked at me, as if they were seeing me through a telescope at the top of a tower they could never reach. I wanted to tell them how much it hurt, how much I needed them, but they didn't understand what I was saying. I cried and held on to them, but often they just sighed and turned away. I wanted with all my heart to be the person that they wanted to see when they looked at me, but I didn't have words. I grew used to the pain, and the world grew used to me. The growths on my back were sometimes easy to hide. On a cold day, huddled into a crowd in my oversized jacket, I could pretend that I was not alone. There was a warmth that filled me from the world that was oblivious. But then I would catch the eye of someone who knew, and my heart was chilled by the coldness of their gaze. Then one day, everything changed. An August summer day of sea and sand was not the joy it is for other children. Everyone could see me, and it was not worth hiding. Anyhow, they hurt too much now if I forced them down to lie flat against my scarred back. The shame had become my toxic friend. It numbed me to the reality of my deformity. She looked my way, and I didn't dare believe it. I knew she saw, yet the warmth in her eyes was brighter than the August sun. She was no taller than me, but she towered above me as I stooped in fear. She took my trembling hand and lifted me, eye to eye. "I understand," she smiled. "I am like you, and I understand." I was shaking so violently, I was sure I would collapse, but instead I felt strength coursing through my veins. Her touch gave me courage that I had never felt before. I breathed deeply, and with a sigh that I had been suppressing my whole life, I dared to accept what I knew was true. With a sound like a cracking bonfire, then a thunderclap, for the very first time, I spread my wings. My friends and family gathered round in hesitancy, in fear, but for the first time, I also felt their love. They knew me, they saw me, and they were not ashamed. They were in awe of the boy before them. I stretched to a mighty span as confidence banished hesitancy. I will never forget the look on their faces the very first time they saw me fly. I wasn't expecting to write this. I wrote it after an experience yesterday where a boy achieved something musical that nobody could ever have imagined that he could achieve. But that's by no means an isolated incident. In my work, that's what I see all the time. It's the way that parents come up to you and say something along the lines of, I had no idea. I'm shocked every day. And that's the message that I want to leave you with. And I don't want to be misheard in that autism is all fun and games and that every autistic person is actually just a genius that needs to discover their gift, but more that they are amazing, unique people. And when you discover that, that's all you need to know. And they are all capable of great things, but maybe not great by the standard that we would set, or the standard that the society around them would set. But they are capable of great things. And I have never, ever met an autistic person for whom that was not true. Happy Autism Awareness Week.